1, 2, 3.
And we're live!
Please welcome to the Startup TNT Investment Summit 9 finale. My name is Adrian. I'm the Calgary lead. I'm one of the investors. Once upon a time, we pitched at Startup TNT, got a side deal, love the organization, but it is my distinct pleasure to also welcome our new BC lead, my colleague, my friend, William Johnson. Welcome, Will, with a good Calgary Yahoo! Will, introduce yourself to
Thanks
the
so
crowd.
much. Thanks so much, Adrian. So glad to be here. I actually love Calgary. I visit Calgary all the time. My father-in-law lives here. And also, Platform Calgary, every time I'm here, this venue is packed. It's packed just like it is tonight. In Vancouver, I'm the BC lead. We're just getting started with Startup TNT, and we're already seeing that Startup TNT effect and magic get to work. It's already having a tremendous impact, and we're doing Thursday night tradition there already. So again, thanks so much for hosting me, Adrian. Happy to be here today.
No, it is our pleasure. We are the ones who are privileged to have you here. Will, if you don't know, I think many of you might know the Calgary Tech Journal. Will, I think you're the one who got it off the ground, aren't you?
I helped.
He helped. He was very modest. I love it. No, it's great to have you here. It's great to have you on the team. And I hope that you enjoy your time here.
So we're in for a treat tonight, right?
We
got the best of Calgary here, and then we're also going to see some amazing pitches from some amazing founders. So what else is going on?
You're not just talking about me. I love this. Okay, cool. So here we are I've clicked a few slides. We are in Calgary tonight. And tonight we're going to hear the story. We're going to hear founders tell the story of their journey thus far. The power of storytelling connects us and brings us together. Tonight we're on the Treaty 7 land, located where the Elbow and Bow rivers meet. These rivers were important traveling trade routes for the Blackfoot, the Tsuut'ina, the Stoney Nakoda, and the Métis people, Region 3. The people who will be telling their stories tonight live, work, and play on these territories, on these lands. So in the spirit of reconciliation and honoring the narratives that have shaped the land, we need to acknowledge the Indigenous peoples who are the original storytellers of these territories. The fact that we are able to come together here for this event is thanks to the stewardship of the Indigenous peoples that came before us since time immemorial.
Adrian, you talked about the legacy and the traditions of First Nations. Tradition is consequential and a big foundation for any thriving community. And the Startup TNT, it's no different, right? It started 2019, founders, investors, people like you came together in a bar on a weekly basis just to spark conversations. And the agenda was simple,
I do know it.
Do you know it? What?
I believe it was to have fun,
Yeah.
make friends, and build companies.
And build companies. The idea came about to have an investment summit. And 5 years later, we've done 33 investment summits. We've been coming together for 265 weeks. We've invested in 96 companies so far. We've invested $13.5 million and just had an incredible impact. A round of applause for the people who worked at Startup TNT before me, like Adrian.
And before me, too. No, thank you. I mean, absolutely. We didn't script this, just so you know. I'm blushing. No, but absolutely. It started as a mostly volunteer organization. We have Neil and Jade who are here who got TNT Calgary off the ground because he expanded from Edmonton to Calgary, then Saskatchewan, then Manitoba, now Vancouver. Woo! And yeah, like 4 weeks ago, we celebrated our fifth birthday, which is also Zach's 40th birthday. So if you're doing the math, Zach and TNT share a birthday. But yeah, this is an incredible logo wall. Of the 96 companies, 43 of these companies are female founded.
Woo!
25 of these companies are BIPOC founded.
The data.
I don't know how many people here know the stats on venture investing and venture funding, but those are dramatically higher than the industry norm, and we're not happy there. We're not staying there. We want to continue to improve those stats and continue to improve those numbers and build that up. And so that is part of my goal as Calgary lead, and I think organizationally it's part of an organizational goal. It's
something we're all working towards.
But let's talk about Calgary. That was the TNT Prairies Canada-wide. Let's talk about Calgary.
Adrian wants to make sure he gets credit here.
No, I don't need. Other people came before me, and the investors are everyone gets credit. 129 Calgary investors.
Amazing.
And 119 of them have invested in Calgary companies. I don't know what the other 10 were doing, but the other 10 were investing elsewhere. But 129 Calgary investors have invested in 35 companies. 5.4 million of that 13, it's actually 13.7 is the real number.
Okay.
20 of the Calgary companies, that's 61% of the Calgary companies are female founded. 20% of the Calgary companies are BIPOC founded. These are some great, great numbers, and I really want to keep doing what we're doing. So thank you for everyone for being here, for continuing to support what we're doing. I'm super proud to work in this organization, super proud to be an investor in all of the companies I've invested in. I love it. I love what we're doing.
Incredible work.
So, enough bragging, I guess. This isn't working anymore, the clicker.
Ooh.
Oh, we'll have to just, next slide, please.
I was going to say, who helped us achieve that?
Oh, there we go. Yes, but we couldn't have gotten here
Without
our partners and sponsors, without the support of incredible organizations like Alberta Innovates and Prairies Can, our core funding partners. These are the ones who really have fueled us and enabled us to make this happen. In addition, then we have our best friends forever, our corporate sponsors. We have Applied Pharmaceutical Innovation in Edmonton. We have Osler, who's sponsoring us across all of our regions, APIs as well. But Osler across all of our regions. You're going to hear from Osler, Alberta Innovates, Prairies Can tonight. We also have MNP, one of our best friend sponsors. You're going to hear from them tonight. Bose is one of our best friends. CBRE, I think there's CBRE people here tonight. There they are. That must be Sarah. That must be Sarah. You know, one of the CBRE guys, he's been investing in Calgary every single summit. Fasken is here tonight as well. The Fasken guys are also best friend partners. Alberta Enterprise Corp. Alan, unfortunately, is out of town, but again, one of our initial sponsors funding us across Alberta. Then we have RBCX, BDC, Accelerate Fund. These are three of our original, they've been with us since the start. Calgary Chamber of Commerce, the University of Calgary Hunter Club. The list goes on. We love our partners and sponsors. I want to thank you all. I would love all of you to thank them to help us do what we do. So thank you. One big round.
This is also not in this. This is also not in the script, but you know we can find more space on this slide if there's anyone in the audience.
We can, yeah. We are a community organization that works with everyone. We would love to add more logos to the slide.
And you know what? You know who they can talk to about that?
Neil, I think, over there. Look up top.
There's a guy with the A on his shirt. He won't raise his hand.
He's wearing the same shirt as we are. So how does it work?
How does it work? Well, it is a pitch event tonight.
It looks like a pitch event.
It's much more than that. And over the last 8 weeks, you know, our network of investors have been meeting with companies and doing due diligence and getting to know these founders and getting to know these incredible stories and these incredible businesses. And that's all culminated in what we're doing tonight. After DD meetings.
No, keep going. Keep going.
I was like, is someone coming up?
No, keep going.
DD meetings with the founders, and tonight we're going to be doing deliberations to find out who's taking home the top prize. And you know, what are people putting in? What are people investing? How
I want to re-emphasize what you said. I mean, like, again, it looks like a pitch competition. It sounds like a pitch competition. This is not a pitch competition. The due diligence, this is an investment competition. We are in the data rooms. We are meeting with the founders continuously. We started with a large number of applicants. You saw 20 5 weeks ago pitch here. We're down to 5. It wasn't because they had the best pitch. It was because the deals look the best right now. That is it. So again, this is not a pitch competition. This is an investment competition. Tonight is about celebrating and showcasing these top 5 companies. Tonight, the winning investment will get the pre-committed angel checks, $5,000 minimum. And then we go into that back room. Some angels will increase their number. Other angels from other regions will put money in. We also have TNT Capital, our venture capital fund, is also going to invest $50,000 in the winner of this company. That's why, 58 investors, about 15 of those investors are LPs in TNT Capital. So they're actually not part of the sort of TNT Angel group. There's also a number of those investors who are sort of plus ones and co-investing with friends and partners. It's an incredible group of investors we built here. We have 5 great companies. It says 200 plus because we had to finalize the slide earlier. I think we had like 290 registrations at last check. Some people are watching the Oilers game. Some people are going to roll in later. But this is an incredible turnout.
And
So thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you all to all the investors being here.
And there's one quick thing I want to mention. Oh yeah, we did.
It's okay. Go.
I just noticed that we're supposed to have a 15-minute countdown. We didn't start it, so we'll just assume we're on time.
Yeah, we're good.
One thing I want to mention though is obviously there's one company that's going to be rated the highest. They're going to get the pre-committed capital. But then, I don't know if you noticed, we've done 33 investment summits, but we've made 96 investments, which means that at each summit, we're investing in more than just one company. We're doing multiple side deals every summit, usually 2 or 3.
Yeah, if you can do the math, 33 summits, 96 investments, it's an average of 2 side deals per summit, so 3 investments.
So I'm
3
looking
deals.
forward to hearing tonight, who else is also getting a deal from the TNT team.
That's right. Well, again, you saw that table, you saw that board. At least there will be a minimum of 1 more logo on that wall. But what is the agenda tonight, William?
Well, I mean, I won't read everything on the slide deck, but 5 pitches. Each of the entrepreneurs get 4 minutes to pitch. Then we're going to be calling up one of our investors from the TNT Angel Network, to talk to the founder, ask a few extra, probing questions to get to know them a little bit better and their company. And we're going to dive into the pitches. Those are going to take us to 7 o'clock. Then the bar reopens. We're going to be deliberating in the back room with our angel investors. And then we're going to come back out here. We're going to announce the winner. We're going to celebrate.
Yes, that's right. We're going to stay here. We're going to celebrate down here from 8 to 9:30, and then at 9:30 we're going to go all the way across the street to the King Eddie. That's where the party will continue. It should be a great one. The tab here is part of our, supported by our funders, our sponsors. The tab across the street, however, can be supported by all of you. And we've already received some donations.
Yeah.
For people who've been here before, they know what we do, they know how we do what we do. And we're going to give them shout outs through the night. But I'm going to start it. I'm donating $100 to the bar tab myself. So and you can too. Startup life is also sometimes called it's like living on a shoestring, living on ramen. So let's make sure these startup founders have a great night and don't pay a dime across the street.
Yep.
So I hope you guys can all join me in joining to the bar tab. Again, just e-transfer, cheers at startuptnt.com, and we'll give you a shout out. You can remain anonymous if you so choose, but we will give you a shout out if you do not choose.
Perfect.
Okay.
But before, we're going to watch some pitches. There are pitches. So tonight we've got Deep Surface AI, OCCAM'S Technologies, SimpleHedge, Tressl, Verano. I'm looking forward. I'm really excited.
Which one are you most excited about?
All of them.
That's the answer. I have 3 kids, and I tell everyone, they say, who do you like the most? I say, I love them all the same. There can only be one winner, but we love all 5 of these companies. Okay, so I think without further ado.
It's 6:14, so we're
We
right
beat it.
on time.
We did it.
We're right on time. Are you ready to hear some pitches? Can we go?
Are you ready to hear some pitches? I've never done that before.
No, one more time. Are you ready to hear some pitches? Hey!
Okay, who's going to introduce our first pitch?
One of our investors and one of our BFF sponsors, Cam from MNP. Come on up.
Hi, everyone. This is an incredible turnout. It's game 3 tonight, and it's a packed house. That's pretty special. One thing everybody talks about is Connor McDavid doing things that nobody's ever done before. But one thing we don't talk about is Adrian being the Connor McDavid of karaoke. And that's one reason why everybody should come out to the Startup TNT Thursdays. Stick around long enough, and you get a life-changing show. So they'll see you all out there. My name is Cam Baywall. I'm a Director of Business Development at MNP. We are the largest mid-market firm in the country, and we love working with companies like everybody in the room here. Myself and some of our partners are invested in some of you, and will continue to do so. And as well, a lot of you are invested your trust in us as your financial advisors, and we really appreciate that. Anyone that doesn't fit in any of those groups, we can send you some engagement letters tomorrow, so just kind of come find me after. I'm here today to introduce a friend of mine. We met actually last summit, and it's a testament on how special Startup TNT really is. He came to us last round. We looked at the company and where his business is at today. Revenue's grown significantly, the product's improved, and the valuation, he's going to give you a more attractive valuation. So, a lot of that is actually, through some of the advice from people in this room. Anyways, this isn't my story to tell, so Joel, come up here and tell yours. Joel from Tressl.
In order to enjoy some of the luxuries that you do today, like a hot shower, internet, or watching the Oilers game at home during the playoffs, it's because critical infrastructure is bringing those services to you. This critical infrastructure could be pipelines, could be power lines, telecommunications like fiber optics. But what you don't know is this critical infrastructure is surrounded by an invisible legal fence. And so anybody else that wants to build around this critical infrastructure has to obtain permission to do so. And these permissions are transacting over 284 million times a year in North America. Here's a scenario that I want to show you that's a real-world scenario that shows 8 different types of requests. As we can see here, the red outlined box is a proposed project. This could be fiber optic, it could be pipeline, could be power line, and it's actually impacting all of the facilities around it. And so they need to get crossing agreements, proximities, road use agreements, etc. And this is a massive market. Over 16 billion in North America is what we calculate this at. I'm Joel Edwards, founder and CEO of Tressl. And I'm not doing this alone. I'm surrounded by decades and decades of experience in oil and gas, legal, business, finance, accounting, tech, marketing, and more. And what we've built is an online platform that streamlines the process for the entire ecosystem, whether it's land, damage prevention, or road use. Oops. And why our clients love us is because we've literally taken turnaround times from months to minutes. Our clients are able to increase their road use revenue through automation. And we've seen where one person can do the job of 8 using our tool. And how we get paid is a volume-based subscription that we charge annually. And we can scale from small junior companies that are thousands of dollars a year, all the way up to multinational super majors that are hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And some of the companies that we're working with, you may know Shell, Secure, Whitecap, Meg, some of the mid-market companies like Queetno, Ember, and Spoke. And what's really special about our product is it actually creates a network effect. So if you want any of these types of agreements from those companies, you have to sign up for Tressl if you haven't already, submit it, and everything happens in our ecosystem. So we have over 500 companies that are transacting on the platform today. And it's not just oil and gas. We're talking government, telecommunications, utilities, carbon capture, and more. And some of the other groups in our space, locally Pandel and StackDX, but what we found is our biggest competition is status quo. So either doing nothing or the dreaded spreadsheet. And we are generating revenue. We're at about $440,000 in annual recurring revenue right now, but we're on pace to be profitable before the end of the year. So, in summary, Tressl is an online platform that's developed and it's growing strong traction in the marketplace. It's because it's easy to grow, because it's easy to use. And we're leveraging the network effect that drives our expansion. And we're seeing over 500 companies that are using it already. And we're raising $500,000 to accelerate that client growth, enter the US market, and drive to profitability before the end of the year. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Joel. I'm going to call up Stephanie, one of our TNT Capital LPs, to get this conversation going.
Thank you. Joel, it's great to see you up here pitching tonight. Like Cam, I've watched your company grow and mature over the last 6 months or so, and we're really proud of the work that you've put in. I want to ask you a little bit about the competition out there. You named some of the softwares that you're in competition with. What sets you apart from them?
Yeah, thank you, Stephanie. Great question. So one of the big things that we do differently is traditionally those companies really still leverage email a lot. So if you're sending and receiving these, you're using email to send and receive, and then you're tracking that in whatever other tool, and it doesn't create those automations. So all of these internal approvals, you're still tracking down emails and moving that data from one place to the other. So the real special thing about Tressl is it's an ecosystem where everybody who participates in it is in one place.
Awesome. Okay, as an investor, what I really want to know is how you're going to make a return on my investment. What are your plans for an exit strategy or a nice dividend?
That is the question of the night, isn't it? How do you make me money? That's a great question. So we are scaling. We're in the process of scaling right now into the United States, leveraging our existing client base who have infrastructure on both sides of the border. And so as we're scaling that revenue, we're going to become very attractive for bigger fish. We already get people that are contacting us right now looking to acquire companies like ours. And then if nothing else, we're going to be a great story to go public. So that's the goal here within the next 3 to 5 years.
Great. Thank you so much. We wish you the best of luck tonight.
Thank you, everybody.
All right. Okay. So we didn't mention this before because we were trying to save time, but one founder, at least minimum, is going to leave with money tonight. Every single founder can leave with feedback. Please take out your, I will wait. Take out your phones. Scan the QR code. I'm going to wait till I see a reasonable number of phones. You probably can't do it from that angle, can you? And let's give our founders some feedback on their pitch. Every single pitch is an opportunity for them to improve. They're going to investor, they're going to do this more and more and more. Let's help them out. Thank you very much, Joel. Fantastic pitch. Once again, give it up. Okay, it's now my distinct pleasure to introduce one of Calgary's most famous podcasters in the tech world. At Fasken, Evan McCann, one of our best friends.
Thanks, Adrian. I'm Evan with Fasken, and Fasken's a national full-service law firm with about 900 lawyers across the country, 80 of which are focused on our emerging tech practice group. So we help with startups anywhere from idea to IPO, and also work with venture funds. We also help our clients get connected with investors as well. And I'll be introducing Clay from Verano AI.
Thanks, buddy.
I just want to say, first of all, an honor and a privilege to, thank you, to present tonight. So I'm Clay. I'm the president and co-founder of Verano AI. So we've managed to blend the boringness of compliance and regulations with the sexiness of AI. So we've developed our own AI models to basically automate the entire compliance journey, thank you, for highly regulated industries. So we know firsthand compliance is really hard. Me and our co-founders, sitting a couple of them here tonight, we're in a previous SaaS-based company. We call it a manual tech-based company that handled regulations and compliance until our exit in 2022. Don't worry about reading the left side of the screen. I've said that before to many of you, heard that, but the point of this slide is to say that a day in the life of a compliance person or professional, there's lots of stuff going on, from monitoring regulations to understanding what changes have occurred, trying to figure out how those changes impact the business, rewriting internal policies, reports, on and on. So what we've done is used AI to create an 80% efficiency by doing 4 things and 4 things extremely well. So one is monitoring and summarizing those regulations. Number 2 is identifying requirements, so pulling out those legal obligations. 3 is our secret sauce. It's mapping and gap analysis. This is where we map regulations to internal documents and come up with gaps or deficiencies. And then we use AI to provide a suggestion on how to fix those gaps. There's lots of stats around what's going on in the world of regulations and compliance. If you think energy, banking, anything that's going on in the world, the most alarming one is the middle stat that about 75% of companies aren't really geared up to manage the ever-evolving world of compliance and risk. So, oh, we lost our clicker. I could do this off the top of my head. Oh, there we go, next slide. Can you go back one? I was just going to say, don't take my word for it on what's going on. If you scour the internet, you'll find hundreds, if not thousands, of articles related to organizations that are dealing with challenges around regulations. You'll also see articles on companies that are basically saying, hey, technology and efficiencies are the only way really that companies are going to be able to, I'm back, thanks, going to be able to work. So to be clear, Verano is not a chat GPT wrapper. We've built our own proprietary AI models and techniques in-house. We utilize those models and push it through an API either into our own dashboard or into existing systems like IBM, SAP, and ServiceNow. So we're moving fast. This idea came to us basically early last year. We then built an MVP, tested the market, ran numerous pilots, built a big funnel of sales opportunities. We landed a partnership agreement with a company named Deloitte, I'm sure you all heard of it, as well as another one called SECG. In the last 8 weeks is really when we've had a lot of amazing traction. We've onboarded 2 new clients. We're now generating revenue. And at InVentures last week, or 2 weeks ago, we pitched and won the AI and Energy Innovation Challenge through Plug and Play. Was an opportunity for me to go down to the Valley and actually pitch to the founder and CEO. And now we're completing our capital raise, which is about half complete. So this market is quite large. It's about a $75 billion market when you look at compliance and management. It's fast growing. We're focused right now in North America. And we're focused in 2 specific industries, which is resources and banking, about a $6 billion market. So there's 2 different ways we distribute. One is direct, so we have numerous clients in various stages of pilots or ongoing discussions. The top there is the energy clients, on the bottom is some of the banking clients we're currently engaged with. On the right-hand side are partners in our channel. So we have Deloitte, as I mentioned, and others that we're chatting with right now, including Cam's company from MNP. So our team, there's 5 of us right now. We're adding a 6th pretty quick. 5 founders, 8 exits amongst us in the last number of years. It's my 5th startup. Renan, who is our AI engineer, he's coded for organizations like Google and IBM and Meta. Super smart guy, PhD level. Rob's our CTO. It's his 6th startup. He holds a patent. He's been 30 years in technology and development. Hugo, our product/project manager, expert in intelligence and data analytics. And then Ben is our BD and client relationship fellow who's been around for 20 years in the energy sector. So what's our big vision? What are we trying to do here? Well, we want to be a unicorn. And this is the breakdown of how we're going to do it. So average contract value is around $20,000 per month. 400 clients gets us to 100 million in ARR, which, if you don't know, stands for annual recurring revenue, which means at about a 10x multiple, we are unicorn status. So that's our goal. My parents said, if you're going to dream big. So that's what we're shooting for. And with a boost from Startup TNT, we think we'll continue to continue to innovate and shape the future of compliance. So why us? Why now? There's 5 main points, but we're in an expanding market. I think there's no surprise with anyone in the room that regulations are not going away. They're only becoming more and more stringent. We have amazing traction, early traction. We have momentum building. We've honestly done a lot in the last 9 or 10 months, with an acceleration in the last 2 in particular. We have an experienced team. As I mentioned, we're all previous founders. This isn't our first time. We've been in the regulatory space. We've been in the technology space for a while. We have a pretty unique solution. I could get into more details about some models and other things that we're doing to develop our technology, but we're dealing with something that doesn't have a lot of competition. And of course, we're riding the AI wave, and we're excited to do so. So anyways, if anyone wants to reach out to me, there's my QR code. And I think someone made the comment about ramen noodles, so yes, we'd appreciate the fun so my kids can maybe have craft dinner. I don't know.
Okay.
Thank you.
One question.
Okay.
Okay. No.
Whoa, hold on there, Clay.
I
Wait.
forgot.
We got one question here.
Yeah.
Can you touch on your partnership with Deloitte, please?
Yes. Great question. So Deloitte is 2 things. So one is we're handling some of their audit work. So if you can imagine, or maybe you can imagine, Deloitte, massive organization, still deals in Excel for the most part. So we're helping with a lot of their audit stuff, obviously creating a massive efficiency. We've proven that through some pilots. The other side we're working on right now is what we call a managed compliance solution. So we're helping them with an integration into ServiceNow to basically have an ongoing continuous compliance program. What that means is they're kind of moving away from just the consultancy side. They want to get into recurring revenue. And on that, the third kind of point, I guess, is that we're actually helping them build revenue in their organization. So we're not just a cost anymore. We actually can get in there and say, hey, this is how to use our technology to actually generate more revenue for your firm.
Awesome, really cool. Okay, great, guys.
Thank you.
Give it up for Clay Verano.
Okay. It was very quick, Clay. Thank you. That was Jeff Chang, one of our investors, TNT Capital LP. Love Jeff. Big hand for Jeff as well. Okay. It's time for some shout outs to some bar tab donations. William, join me. Come on. Come on up here, dude. Here we go.
Who do we got?
Yeah, do you remember? You remember? Remember Tim Lip.
Tim Lip. Does anyone know Tim Lip?
Tim Lip. Remember
We met
Tim
him
Lip?
earlier.
Tim Lip has donated to the bar tab. Tim Lip came up here. He is having an event next week. Today.
At this spot.
Right here. Robots and puppies.
That's what he told us.
Event.
That's what he told us.
Robots and puppies. I think we should all be, I'll see you all here 1 week from today for the Robots and Puppies event right here. Thank you, Tim Lip. Here we go. Another one of our TNT Capital LPs.
Oh, where is Kyle? Is Kyle here?
Kyle, put your hand up. Put your hand up. Mr. Kyle Kanofsky. Thank you, Kyle Kanofsky. He's so humble. He's so humble. Okay, Kyle Kanofsky, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, big round of applause. Thank you to our bar tab donations. Who's up next?
Who's up next? Well, I'm not going to announce who's up next, but I will call up Pej from Alberta Innovates, one of our core funding partners, to let us know who else is coming up. Welcome, Pej.
Thanks, guys. Hi, for everyone who doesn't know me, I'm Pej Ganapur. I'm a technology development advisor at Alberta Innovates. And Alberta Innovates is the crown corporation of Alberta and the innovation engine of the province. Among other things, we provide funding and coaching to startups across the province. We are currently working with actively working with about 1,500 startups across the province. So if you're not one of them, make sure you contact me or contact us and work with us. With that, I have the pleasure of introducing our next speaker, David Cates from Deep Surface AI.
Happy to be introduced by Alberta Innovates because you all have been a huge supporter of us since our founding, so thank you very much. I'm David Cates. I'm a co-founder and the president and CEO of Deep Surface AI, and it's great to be back with you all for the finals. Let's talk about medical aesthetics for a second. Everybody in this room knows someone who's had or wants to have an aesthetic procedure to be happier or more confident in their daily lives. And the reason that's the case is because the desire for aesthetic improvement is just absolutely massive. Hundreds of millions of people. By comparison, the number of people who actually have a procedure is very small. 90% of the total addressable market is untapped, and conversion rates for professionals are below 50%. The biggest challenge is the fear of unnatural looks. We solve this challenge for physicians and injectors with 3D simulation software that lets patients see before they do on a realistic image of their own face. Over the past 4 years, we've learned that you need 3 things to make a great simulator. It has to make great simulations, medically credible and aesthetically satisfying. It has to be in 3D because that's what 95% of patients prefer. It has to be fast and simple to use because, if anything, physicians want their consultations to be shorter. Next slide. So I've got a flip book of slides here. This is going to go terribly. Oh, I'm back. All right. Easy 3D capture with a smartphone. Realistic 3D. And tools that work the way surgeons plan. That's before, I think. Nope, that was after. That's before. And that's after. It's all a credit to our core team. Decades of experience in facial plastic surgery, medical aesthetics, including sales and marketing, biomedical applications of AI, and building and growing young companies. The only thing missing from this page is a full-time hire in sales with medical aesthetics sales experience, and that's something we're hoping to remedy in the next couple of weeks. We're on it. We launched our MVP at the end of 2023. We signed 8 surgeons to paid subscriptions, and we built off of their feedback. At the end of April, we went live with our first complete commercial offering, and we're looking forward to a summer of substantial revenue growth. Over the next 2 years, we aim to become the top-selling simulation solution. We just added a facial fillers license tier to our product that increases our total addressable market fourfold. When we add an AI-driven consumer app, we'll be able to reach those hundreds of millions of people interested in an aesthetic procedure, and we'll be able to generate referral revenue by connecting them with physicians. We're raising capital to grow revenue by adding sales capacity and increasing the number of new technology features that allow us to expand into new markets. Key milestones include, by the end of 2025, approximately $2 million a year in annualized revenue, distribution partnerships with software platforms for plastic surgery and med spa clinics, and of course, getting to our next equity round. That is all. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks so much. Oh, you're not done yet? Not done. We want to call up. All right. We got to. People that are watching this online. I just wanted to call up Dave, one of our investors, for the Q&A.
Hi, Dave.
All right, we're in an age of AI, so with all this AI automation, don't you think it'll replace your tool?
I actually think this is one of the last places you will really see AI replace the physician, because so much of what happens in that cosmetic surgery consultation has to do with the surgeon's expertise, understanding what is possible for that patient, understanding that patient's prior medical history, and the patient's very specific preferences, right? Do they care about maintaining looking like their family? Have they always wanted something that an AI isn't going to naturally detect? So you're never going to take, in my opinion, a human out of the loop. The question for AI in this case is, how do you make the consultation easier and better using data?
Okay, great. Now, one of the things we wanted to talk about is sales strategy. So going to every clinic one at a time, every doctor one at a time is very time-consuming and expensive.
Yes.
Do you have another more efficient strategy?
So our efficiency strategy really comes from focusing on practice management platforms and distribution partnerships with them. And we've been in conversations with 2 of the larger platforms. The other part of the efficiency strategy particularly comes in the facial filler space. Dermatology clinics have been getting rolled up by private equity firms. One of the biggest one is located right here in Calgary with 70 clinics across the US and Canada, but their head office is, well, split between here and Montreal. So those create a lot of efficiency in bringing in new clients.
Great, I think we got time for one more. You talked to, no more? No more, well, thank you very much.
Sorry about that. I do apologize, but we're on a tight schedule. The bar's closed. People want it reopened. Okay. Once again, I'll remind you all, 1 founder minimum is leaving with money, but they can all leave with your feedback. I will make it uncomfortable. I will wait for the knot of phones. I will look people in the eyes. I will do all the things. Give them your feedback, please. Rob, I see you. Scott, look at Scott Jenkins go. I love it. ZS2 won the first Clean Tech Summit up top. We debated bringing Scott down for a full testimonial. We're going to do a video blog instead. Scott, I'm holding you to that. It is now my pleasure.
Well, I was going to say, there were a couple bar tab donations.
There were. I heard a guy named William
Thank you, Adrian.
Johnson.
I see
heard
a
a guy
bar
named
tab
William
donation
Johnson
came through.
donated. Will Johnson donated to the
Adrian
bar tab.
donated to the bar tab. Give him a round of applause.
Will, how did you donate to the bar tab? How did you do it?
I sent an e-transfer to cheers@startuptnt.com.
But is that like a newfangled thing?
You guys have been doing that for 5 years.
E-transferring?
E-transferring. And you know what? The banks don't charge you $1 to do it
You mean
anymore.
Venmo, right? You mean Venmo? Is this Canadian banking? Yes.
Canadian banking.
Canadian banking. Interact. E-transfer. Okay.
Let's keep it going.
All right, let's keep it rolling. Where is he sitting? There he is. My pleasure to introduce the next sponsor, to introduce the next pitcher, Amy from Ozar, our best friend forever. Amy.
Thank you, Adrian. Good evening, all. I'm super glad to be here. My name is Amy from Osler, Hoskin & Harcourt, LLP. Osler is a full-service law firm, national law firm, but that's not how I see what we do. I'm part of the Emerging and High Growth Companies Group. It's basically the tech and venture group. How I see what we do is that we help. We help founders meet their goals, and we help foster sustainable relationship with investors. And I have the pleasure to call on someone I've been exchanging emails with, but I've never seen, Mark from SimpleHedge.
Thank you. Thank you for the intro. For those of you that don't know or misheard, my name is Mark Halati. Prior to building SimpleHedge, I built 2 venture-backed tech companies and sold them both. The first was in finance, the second was in technology, and today we're talking about fintech for farmers. Specifically, we're talking about making hedging easy. And for those of you new to the finance world, this is not a landscaping company. We're talking about hedging price risk. For more background, there's 2 main things a farmer needs to do. Number 1 is grow crops, and you've all seen that as you drove through the Alberta countryside. But number 2 you might not have seen, and that's selling crops. And yet a lot of the value, a lot of the profit that you make on a farm is in selling the crops and not growing the crops. However, most technology has only focused on what you can visually see, and that's the growing of crops. So we have automated tractors, we have precision drones, we have advanced chemicals. Yet when it comes to selling crops, we're stuck in the 1980s. The only thing that has changed, unfortunately, are the suits and the haircuts. Everything else is the same. You're still faxing in forms. You're waiting 90 days to set up an account. When you want to place a trade, it's on the phone, and it might take a day and a half to put in a single order. We're changing all of that. We're building the modern, intuitive experience that you know should exist for hedging. We're making it 1,000 times easier. We're making it 100 times faster. And all of this is possible because we're giving each farmer a personalized experience. So instead of having to read 3 textbooks and do an MBA to figure out how options work, we show them the profit and loss analysis for their own farm right on the app. You could think of this as Robinhood or Wealthsimple for farmers. And we have the right team to do it. Each of the engineers on this page are really phenomenal, the best I've worked with across all the companies I've been at. And I'll call out Evan Boyle on the bottom left there, who was the former head of hedging products at Cargill, one of the largest grain companies in the world. And when I showed him the slides on the product we were building, he immediately knew he wanted to join. So you can tell we're building an intuitive, modern experience, all centered around custom opportunities. But you might be asking yourself, will farmers want a digital solution? And the next 3 slides will tell you that answer is yes. This is a survey of over 1,000 farmers, 80% of whom are willing to try a new app when they see a clear benefit. The next is the incumbents. There are apps that exist today, but all the apps exist today to serve either grain companies or advisors. We're the first to really be focused on the farmer's choice and independent from any grain company. And then most compellingly, we already have an app live and 10 farmers in pilot. But I'll give you one update right now. Due to high demand, that number is increased to 17 farmers already using SimpleHedge. There's a lot of numbers on this page, so I'll just call out what's the most important takeaway. The most important takeaway is although the app looks like a beautiful consumer app, the businesses we're dealing with are enterprise level. $2 million in revenue for the average farm. The value at stake, the difference between using SimpleHedge and not, is $210,000 every year. And our revenue potential per farm is $5,000 annually. We make money by charging a standard commission on trades, for those of you that are curious. And so now we look at the scale of the business. Although you might not have seen grain being sold, you've seen it being grown, and you can imagine this is a huge industry. Given the value we create for every farm, at only 200 farms, we can have $1 million in revenue. At our US launch, we'll be over 1,000 farms. We can support additional commodities. Today I've talked about grain, but soon we're getting into cattle as well. And on the far right-hand side, at $500 million in annual revenue, we're already working to develop proprietary hedging products that will only be available on SimpleHedge. So with that, this is SimpleHedge, and I'm Mark Halati.
Wow. Okay. That was cool. Mark, you're still here. You got to stand right here. It's my pleasure to introduce another one of our fantastic investors, leading the due diligence, leading the charge on SimpleHedge, Loren. How was California, Loren?
Californication, but it wasn't a vacation. Let's give another round of applause to Mark and to SimpleHedge. So Mark, I heard a little word on the street that you've only been in pilot for 8 weeks, but you're already in the US. Care to tell us about that?
Yes, we are. Initially, I planned a US launch 2025, maybe late 2024. But then we had high demand from US brokers, and they've actually pulled our product to the US already. So we'll be launching fully in the US this summer.
Wow, amazing. Talk about velocity, eh? I think we have another quick question. Mark, $500 million in revenue you're making it look very easy, but what's the exit strategy for SimpleHedge? Tell us what that looks like.
Realistically, a $1 billion or more IPO. That's what we're aiming for, and that's what we'll do.
That's what he'll do. Okay.
Downside scenario. We've already had acquisition interest from the big 5 banks here. So very confident in a positive outcome.
Wow, a global company that SimpleHedge is building right here in Calgary, everyone. Another round of applause for SimpleHedge.
Thank you.
Well done, SimpleHedge. Let's keep it rolling, Adrian. And actually, I feel like he's obsessed with the feedback, and I think it's valuable. So I think I'm going to wait till at least 5 people put up their phones, and then we'll get started. 1, 2, 3, 4, there, 5, 6.
Make it uncomfortable.
Yeah, you are. There you go. Anyway, we'll keep it going here. For the final pitch of the evening, we're flowing through. We're keeping ourselves on time. I want to invite up one of our core funding partners from Prairie Scan, Oba. Please give him a round of applause.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Oba Harding. I am the manager of innovation ecosystems with Prairies Can. That's Prairies Economic Development Canada. We are an economic development agency, sometimes called a regional development agency, and we're a department of the federal government. Our job is to create the conditions and support those organizations that grow the Prairies economy. We have many investment partners. We have funded Platform Calgary. I feel like that's paying off tonight. We have funded Startup TNT. Let's hear it for Startup TNT. These days, we are very focused on greening the Prairie's economy. We cannot do that without clean technology. And I could ramble on about clean technology, but no one wants to hear that from the government guy. But we could speak to an expert. So with that, I'll introduce Matt from OCCAM'S.
All right, thank you. Is it me? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we won't start the timer until you get your slides.
There you go.
Whoa.
Take it away, Matt.
My name is Matthew Henderson. I'm with OCCAM'S Technologies, and we're developing direct oxy-fired carbon capture for point source diesel engine emissions. So the problem, the current fleet of diesel engines will emit about 17 gigatons of CO2 over their usable lives. This amounts to about 3% of our global annual emission rate and about 1 gigaton per year. These emissions are particularly sticky and difficult to mitigate. You find them on ships or on locomotives. They're size constrained, and the carbon capture solution has to be similarly constrained. We're developing the direct oxy-fired carbon capture process, which combines pure oxygen with diesel fuel and a recirculation loop to control the combustion temperature, and what comes out is a flue gas with over 50% CO2 in it at a temperature of about 500 to 600 degrees Celsius. This exhaust gas stream is ready for capture. You can send it straight to compression and refrigeration, where the CO2 will just rain out a solution like water rains out of the atmosphere. This process has actually been developed before. It's been mobilized on diesel-powered submarines underwater. They have to take their oxygen underwater with them. But we think that we can take the technology they've developed, bring it to the surface, simplify it, and make it economic for on-surface carbon capture. And we've submitted a patent to protect a number of innovations in that regard. Compared to the nearest carbon capture technology competitor, you can see that we're about half the price right out of the gate. This speaks also to the capital equipment associated with that, with our process. There's about half the amount of equipment on site, and that's a critical part of being small. Last but not least, you can see that we're profitable under the US 45Q tax credit system, and one day we're going to be profitable under the Canadian carbon credit system as well. The whole world of diesel engines is the market that we're going to go after, and one day we're going to have it all. Within the US and Canada, however, it's a similarly large market, but the market we're targeting first and foremost is about a $400 million market. These are engines and rigs that we're going to be selling onto these engines that will sell or capture and sell CO2 profitably themselves right now. In terms of market traction, we've got a number of partnerships. ZS2 Technologies, notably a TNT alumnus and former winner. Within the oil and gas sector, which is where our playground is here in Alberta, we've partnered with Precision Drilling. They've agreed to provide engines as we need, space to test and build facilities, test, make mistakes, correct them, and move on. With their support, we've secured a $2 million federal grant to help build the first pilot plant and get it operational. And finally, we've got a proof of concept operating in the back of the ZS2 facility. Come by and take a look, and you'll see it work. At this point, we're raising $500,000 in the form of a SAFE capped at $5 million. This will be sufficient to prove our technology's viability, which will result in additional funding at a higher valuation in the very near term. Once our pilot is operational, we're going to start to pivot the technology for the locomotives and then for the shipping sectors. Sales are going to start off in earnest in 2026, and by the end of about 2030, we aim to have about 88 rigs sold. Collectively, at that point, there will be about 800,000 tons of CO2 captured, really chewing into the 1 gigaton per year that we're currently emitting. This is our team of champions. Everyone on the team has prior startup experience with a handful of successful exits. Andrew McMurray took a successful exit from Step Energy Services when they went public. But I want to give a special thank you to Alex Konomaitis, who's been critical in helping us really establish the value of the technology, the process, and the whole thing altogether. Last but not least, I want to give a huge thank you to the Startup TNT community. This has been an incredible experience for us. We've learned a ton. We've made some incredible connections. It's been fantastic, and I just want to say thank you.
Well, thanks so much, Matt. To keep this going, final Q&A of the evening, I want to call up one of our investors, Paul. Give it up for Paul.
Yeah, thanks very much. Great job, Matt. So you focused a lot of your pitch here on diesel technology, climate change. Oh, got to stand in the middle. Climate change, huge issue, also huge opportunities. Diesel engines, any opportunities for other kind of applications, other types of engines?
Yep. Yeah. Other engines have been tested. They've been, natural gas engines have been tested and demonstrated successfully. Gasoline spark ignition engines have also been tested. These have been, at relatively small scale, 10 to 50 kilowatt size scale. Propane engines have also been tested as well. So there's lots of precedent that this works. Submarines use diesel, so that's where the knowledge really lies. But there's absolutely precedence in other types of engines.
Yeah, you bet. So I guess the question that bears to be asking is if this has been used on submarines before, why haven't we seen it, widespread adoption?
Yeah, that's a really important question, and it comes down to cost. It's been a long time developing our carbon credit markets. Only in the last 2 years have the North American markets really matured to the level where any carbon capture technology really can economically try and capture carbon at a break-even level. We think there's actually precedent that the oxy-fire process can be profitable for the operators, but it's largely a regulatory response. The technology is there. These regulations, these rules that are brand new, they're going to help everything in the carbon capture world, and people are going to start coming out of the gate here right away, and hopefully we're at the front of the pack.
Fantastic. All right. Well, I think that's about it. Thanks, Matt. Get your phones out, because Adrian will ask.
Sorry, Paul beat me to it. Don't listen to me. Listen to Paul Toraville, one of our most important investors, who wants you to get your phones out and take the QR code seriously. Give these guys feedback. I feel like we flubbed it a bit earlier, so I wanted to really read the details of the Robots and Puppies event. On June 20th, at this very stage, come see puppies compete with AI experts on tech governance. Come to Robots and Puppies at 9 a.m. right at this space. That's the comment. So thank you to Tim Lip. Has anyone else donated?
And ChatGPT didn't write that. No.
Has anyone else donated?
Has anyone else donated?
Yeah.
So I'll read from the bottom. I see Stephanie Horner. Thank you.
Stephanie Horner, one of our sponsors from RBCX. Give it up for Stephanie. Woo.
I see Josh. It could be Josh Malate.
Josh Malate.
Malate.
Josh Malate, co-founder of Athenia, and one of our investors. Thank you, Josh. Woo.
And there's another name here, Doug Brown.
Doug Brown, co-founder of ZS2 Technologies. Thank you, Doug. Winner of the first Clean Tech Summit. Okay, we did it. We did it on time. This is a new record for Calgary. We are 2 minutes before 7. Investors, I will ask you to please calmly make your way to the Investor Hub, where there is pizza and there are drinks right up there. Right up there. I will ask the investors to go up there. I want to give a special shout out to our friend Derek Armstrong in the house, new director of OCCAM'S. Derek normally would have been on stage introducing. I will be again, and you know what I'm talking about, Derek. Okay, thank you, everyone. The bar is reopened. We're going to be back.
We'll see you in 45 minutes.
I promise. Thank you, everyone. To go as quickly as possible. Your attention, please. And thank you for your patience. I hope you have all been enjoying the bar while we've been deliberating. William, your first Calgary Summit, what did you think?
I thought it was pretty phenomenal. Different vibe than Regina, I'll say. But I'm not saying anything bad about Regina.
So what you're saying is Calgary is a different vibe than Regina. These are profound thoughts. Profound thoughts. Why is he saying that?
I flew in to deliver that insight.
He was at the Regina finale at the Agri-Food Summit. That's why he mentions Regina. Just so you're all in.
No, it was an intense deliberation room. Some sharp insights. A lot of smart people in there. A lot of really exciting conversation.
I mean, it's stressful. It's stressful. How do you pick a favorite child? Like, you can't. They're all incredible, right? It's impossible. Who was your favorite? I mean, this doesn't work still, but if it did, we'd be on the next slide.
Well, no, I think he's got to put on the slide deck.
It is on. It is on.
Is that? No, that's not the slide deck.
That
that's
is.
the
Oh,
transition slide.
No, it's not. Because it doesn't have the QR code.
while we're waiting, has anyone checked the score?
There we go. While we're waiting,
It's not good.
what was your favorite? What was your favorite pick? Okay, guys, again, please. We're gonna be quick.
All right, we're going to be quick and we're going to get to the winner. All right, what was my favorite pitch?
Yeah.
Like we said at the beginning, we don't choose favorite children.
We can hear you all. We can.
Oh!
We can hear you all talking. Every one of you that thinks you're being quiet, we can hear you all. I promise. Okay, so we have no favorites.
All the pitches were phenomenal. And why don't we give all of the founders who pitched a round of applause?
And who helped us get here?
A lot of different people, a lot of different organizations. Thanks so much to all of our funding partners and our community partners and our BFFs and our close friends and everyone here who came to make this a really exciting evening. We couldn't do any of this without all of you. And I want to say, the next slide is going to show what you've helped us accomplish over all these years.
That is true. That is true. I want to thank every single person here. I want to thank the people who are going to be on here when we do Summit X. And in Vancouver, you're looking for more partners and sponsors.
I am.
Some of these people, some of you,
Some of you guys have already
know
signed
people
on.
in Vancouver we would love to meet. So what have these partners and sponsors helped us achieve?
We talked about this, the TNT effect when we kicked off this evening. You know, $13.5 million in capital raised for our companies, 33 investment summits, 96 companies. We're adding one, maybe more tonight to that logo wall, or 400 investors. Again, incredible impact.
Well,
on our
we're adding
partners.
4 minimum because we have 4 summits going on right now. Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Edmonton, and Calgary. So minimum 4 more on this slide.
And you know what that gets us to in terms of companies? Do the math.
Wait, sorry, it gets us. Even I can do this. 100
companies?
Holy cow! Hands up for everybody. Let's go. We have another donation as well. We want to give another thank you. Margaret Glover Campbell. Hands up for Margaret. There's more. I mean, I don't know. We did get a donation. We're not sure which region they're in. But if Kathleen is here, give a hoot. Kathleen's Calgary. There it is, Kathleen. Thank you. Look at that.
So where's that bar tab going to?
That bar tab's going to the King Eddie. That bar tab's going to everyone who goes to the King Eddie. All right, we are building anticipation now. For those of you in the game, you know we want you wanting more. You guys are on the edges of your seat. We're going to the King Eddie.
And so for those of you who are watching the live stream, you're in other cities across Canada, we have after parties happening in 6 different places. So for those of you watching, make sure you know where the after party location is. And
We have some people on the live stream. Some people from Vancouver, I think.
a lot of folks from Vancouver.
We have some investors in this summit
from Vancouver.
Like at least 4, because we have Noel on Vancouver Island. And
Neil, Pavon, Joe Ben.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. We're watching you as you watch us.
they're going to go to Malone's, which is why we put this slide up like this. But let's get to it. Donate to the Afterbar tab. And the winner is
SimpleHedge. Where?
Okay, but we told you before. We've told you before. We don't often invest in only one. We normally have side deals, and tonight is no exception. We have one side deal we can announce right now, and we have a couple more that we're still working on. But one that we're going to announce right now, we're going to welcome down OCCAM'S Technologies.
Hey, congrats.
Okay, so I would love for us to get pictures with all 5 founders, if you guys are down for it. And I would like to thank everyone. The bar is reopened. We'll see you guys all down there.
We're here till 9:30.
Oh, the thank yous.
Go.
We forgot to say thank you to all the people that made this happen behind the scenes. Our AV group in the top, right up there, making it work.
Woo!
In Edmonton, we've got our operations team, Jonah and Winnie, pushing this out to the world. Thank you to Jonah and Winnie. We have Mandy doing all of our marketing, bringing you all here, making many. I know you guys want to talk. I get it. They're making you all aware of what we do. We also have our incredible bartenders, Joan and Taylor. Remember, none of you, unless you donated, none of you paid for the drinks. So please tip the bartenders. We have the venue. What an incredible venue. Platform Calgary. Thank you, Platform.
I think that's it. And no, you're not getting. It's an unlimited, infinite group of people to thank Adrian. And he won't want me to do this, but thanks so much for our ringleader here, Adrian. Great job.
No, thank you, William, for flying all the way out here. Thank you to everyone for coming out. Thanks to all our investors for supporting us. We love you guys so much. Let's keep doing this. We'll see you again in September for our next summit. And hopefully we see you over the summer as well. We have a big happy hour every Thursday. The next one is at Trolley 5. We have a big Stampede party. Watch our social medias for all of the detail. Thank you all. Now you can go to the bar for a quick drink. Thank you. Woo.